Let's admit for a moment that we're both honest. When people hear the word Connecticut, they typically do not believe it. This is where I'll form my LLC. However, the founders who chose to live in Connecticut, they typically have a cause. Perhaps its association with New York or Boston is responsible. Perhaps it's clients in the Northeast. Perhaps it's a desire for a state that is recognized, structured, and respected. In this video, I'll explain to you how to start an LLC in Connecticut, what the process actually looks like, what the costs are up front, what the costs are annually, and who this state is appropriate for and who it is probably not. No fanfare, no shortcuts, just a complete walkthrough. If you're new here, I'm Bobby Casey, the founder of Business Anywhere. I assist founders worldwide in establishing companies in the US. Connecticut is one of those states that isn't for everyone, but when it occurs, it does well. All right, let's get into it. Why Connecticut? Connecticut is in a peculiar position. It's not a cost-effective method of set it and forget it, like some in the Midwest, nor is it a high-profile startup that attracts like California or New York. Instead, Connecticut typically attracts founders who want to have credibility, consistency, and access to the Northeast market, especially for consulting, financially connected work, agencies, and professional services. The fees associated with the state are reasonable. The system is structured, and the regulations are lucid if you follow them. Before anything is officially recorded, you must choose a business name. In Connecticut, your company's name must be unique and include the words LLC, LLC, or Limited Liability Corporation. You will assess the availability through the online system of Connecticut, which is part of the state's BizNet platform. It's relatively simple and it avoids you having to submit something that will be denied later on. This is a good occasion to consider the shape only as a means of transition. Branding, domain names, and planned growth. Connecticut allows you to alter your name afterward, but it is typically easier to begin with a clean name. Next is your authorized representative. Every Connecticut LLC must have a registered agent with a physical street address in the state. This individual or organization is mandated to produce legal documents and official notices regarding your corporation. If you live in Connecticut, you can take on the role of your own registered agent. Just be sure the address is public, and you're supposed to be available during typical business hours. Many remote founders employ a professional registered agent who takes care of their email and privacy issues. All right, now we should actually create the LLC. To form your Connecticut LLC, you will create a certificate of organization through the BizNet website. This will be submitted to the Connecticut Secretary of State for approval. The uploading is conducted online, the procedure is organized, and the state cost of filing is $120. You will share your LLC name, the registered agent's details, your business address, and the management structure. Once the filing is sanctioned, your Connecticut corporation has officially been created. No obligation to publish, no specific rules regarding counties, just one centralized platform. Now let's discuss something that Connecticut doesn't promote, but you still want to do. A contract that operates. Connecticut doesn't have a requirement for a formal contract, but this document describes the specifics of your LLC. Ownership, control, distribution of profits, and the fate of the company's participants. Even if your single member is an LLC, having an operating agreement will help to demonstrate that your business is separate from the other members. Banks and other payment processors often want it, despite the fact that the state doesn't. Next, you will want to acquire your EIN or employer ID number. This is the federal tax ID number of your LLC. You'll need it to create a U.S. business bank account, hire employees, receive payment from clients, and file federal taxes. Good news, it's completely free, and you can receive it directly from the IRS website in a few minutes. Now we should discuss taxes and licenses because this portion is contingent on the specifics of your business. If your LLC produces goods, employs personnel, or collects sales, you must register with the Department of Revenue of Connecticut. Connecticut lacks a single universal business license that covers all industries and local officials. However, certain industries and local communities do require licenses. This portion is different for every business type, so it's important to check in early. Here is the area that is most important to plan for: ongoing compliance. Every LLC in Connecticut is required to submit a yearly report. The cost is $80. That report is due by March 31st every year, and it updates your company information with the current state. Miss the deadline, and you will face late fees and a potential loss of standing. It's not difficult, but Connecticut's strict deadlines are concerning. If we focus on the smaller, simpler aspects of things, here is what it actually looks like to run a Connecticut LLC. You spend $120 to create it. You pay through BizNet. You maintain a registered agent that is active. You submit an annual report for $80 every year by March 31st. In exchange, you receive a well-known, structured LLC in a Northeast region that is taken seriously. One final thing to discuss. Connecticut isn't the most cost-effective state, and it's not the most delegated. However, for those who value organizational structure, consistency, and regional legitimacy, it can be a very important choice. This is why, at Business Anywhere, we will form your Connecticut Limited Liability Corporation for free. You only pay the $120 fee associated with state registration. We also include your first year of registered agent service at no additional cost, and we will help you to stay aware of the annual report's content. If you want to see Connecticut accomplished correctly, without flirting with deadlines or questioning the system, see the link in the description. All right, now I want to hear from you. Is Connecticut a wise choice for you, or are you still evaluating the Northeast? Comment on the article and let me know. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.